Hey, what's up, guys? Good afternoon, or good evening, or maybe good morning. You never know, right? Maybe there's someone watching this live stream from Asia. Who knows? Good morning, guys. Can you guys hear me and see me? I cannot hear myself quite yet, as usual. It takes about like 8 seconds. There you go. There I am. Welcome back, guys. How are you? How was your trading session today? Today we had a crazy day. I mean, it's been it's been very crazy out there since NVDA posted earnings yesterday. What a run to the upside, guys. Unbelievable. And today we had some sort of mixed day. By the way, drop a comment down below. Let me know what stocks you guys want me to go over. So BSDs, it was good. Yeah, we all took a bunch of good trades. We had a bit of volatility. The SPY was in some sort of roller coaster mode, and whenever we see volatility, that increases the likelihood for us in order to be able to take trades. So let's start with the information. Let's get started. A mixed day in the markets, guys. We saw a massive rally in the Nasdaq and the Nasdaq 100. The Nasdaq went up today 1.71%, and the S&P 500 went up 0.88%. We didn't have once again a healthy day with most of the sectors of the markets and most of the stocks out there going higher. And per usual, we had only a handful of stocks doing the heavy lifting. So Russell 2000 went down today 0.70%. I have told you guys on multiple occasions that the Russell 2000, since we have almost 2,000 stocks trading inside this index, in my opinion, this index represents my favorite market leading indicator. Well, the Russell 2000 went down today 0.70%. The Dow Jones, which is not an important index when it comes to have a clear view of what the markets are doing in general terms, because we only have 30 stocks trading in here or trading inside this index. The Dow went down 0.11%. Sorry. So we had two indices, in my opinion, one very important index going lower, and the S&P and the Nasdaq went on a tear. But take a look, guys. If we take a look under the hood, what happened? These are the sectors that trade inside the S&P 500. Today we had 8 sectors closing in the red. And per usual, the heavy lifting was carried out by the tech sector, which represents, by the way, 25% of the total market capitalization of the S&P 500. So the tech sector went up today 3.84%. But other than the tech sector, yeah, we can make the case that that industrial or the industrial sector went up. This is not really an important sector inside the S&P 500. You guys know, I have told you on multiple occasions that the most important sectors in the S&P 500 or the SPY are obviously the tech sector, healthcare, which went down today 1.02%, and the financial sector, which went down 0.03%. It pretty much closed flat. And if we take a look, guys, at the stocks that went higher and lower, take a look. Today we had 1,922 stocks going up, but on the flip side, we had 4,280 stocks going down. So the markets don't look healthy from a breadth standpoint. And as I have been telling you, the big question here is, for how long is the tech sector going to be able to keep on doing the heavy lifting without the participation of the other sectors? Because something that could happen, and this would be healthy for the markets, would be the tech sector taking a rest while the other sectors catch up. But so far, that hasn't been the situation, and until we don't see a broader market participation, let's say that the levels that we are seeing across the board in the indices, and most importantly in the Nasdaq 100 or the triple Qs and the S&P 500 or the SPY, are guilty until proven innocent. it is going to be very difficult for the indices to keep going higher without the participation of all of the sectors and without the participation of most of the stocks out there. There you go. I already have some requests over here. I wanted to start with the SPY. So the SPY went up today 0.87% and it closed the trading session at $414.65. Guys, keep in mind, tomorrow we have the core PCE coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is an inflation report, and that report might be moving the tape. If the report happens to come out as expected, then we can make the case that the market's already priced that in, so we shouldn't see much volatility after the report comes out. However, if we happen to see a surprise, if the report happens to come out way better than expected, inflation-wise, then we could see the SPY going higher. Or on the flip side, if we happen to have a negative surprise on that report, then we could see further downside over here. Maybe the bears might be able to break 410 to the downside. Okay. As we are seeing the SPY as of now, keep a close watch on tomorrow, 4:15, guys. If the trading session starts above $415, we have a sizable gap. Let's just put it that way, to the upside, up to 419. And keep in mind, guys, that when it comes to 419, $419, we are talking about an area of resistance in which the bulls failed a few days ago. And this level, $419, happens to coincide with the 100-week moving average. It is a very, but very important spot. And I think that the bulls aren't going to be able to take out this level to burst above $419 without having an epic battle with the bears. So $419 in, or let's say that from $419 in regular market conditions, we could see some sort of retracement. So this is a spot that I am going to be keeping a close watch on from a short perspective. So opening the trading session tomorrow above $415 is very bullish. The bulls are going to be opening the trading session above the 5-day moving average. So that could imply that we might be about to see further upside. However, opening the trading session below $415.50, let's try to point out a more precise number. So opening the trading session below $415.50 opens the door for two possible gaps to the downside. The first one, $412.50. The bulls managed to find support over here today. And if $412.50 happens to be broken to the downside, then we have a very, but very important line of defense for the bulls at 410. Yesterday, if you guys keep a close watch on my Discord channel, I told you, watch out for 410 for support. The bulls found support at 410 and then they bounce back up. And today I told you, and you guys can take a look at my channel, watch out for 412.50, 412.20. What's the number that I pointed out exactly? And the bulls found support at 412.25-ish, and they bounce back up. By the way, guys, tomorrow I am taking a trip to New York, so I am not going to be active on Discord, but I will be back. I will be back on Monday. By the way, keep also in mind that on Monday we have a holiday. It is Memorial Day, and when we have long weekends, this is an interesting fact. Or when we have a 3-day weekend, in the 60% of the cases, the SPY goes higher or goes up the Friday before a long weekend. So from a statistical standpoint, we can say that the odds are in favor of the bulls in tomorrow's trading session. You guys know that we have this shit show of the debt ceiling going on as of now. That could move the tape. And we also have the core PCE coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's important information that you need to keep in mind. Okay, here I have CRM, Google. I wanted to go over once it for all NVIDIA. Did you guys trade NVIDIA today? I took a quick day trade, and I shared this trading idea with you in the main chat. I told you, watch out for NVIDIA bursting above 385 bucks. It was consolidating slightly below 385 bucks. And the second, that 385 bucks was taken out by the bulls on good volume. This was a very quick trade that I took in something like 3 or 4 minutes. I got one call that expired on June 16, and I ended up making over here $140. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, NVIDIA. Okay, so it went on an absolute tear today, 24%, unbelievable. And when the trading session opened, guys, NVIDIA was trading at a new all-time high. So we didn't, for the most part, we didn't have any specific previous technical reference. However, the price action that we saw today showed us very clearly that 365 bucks is an important spot for the markets. So if tomorrow NVIDIA happens to retrace down to 365 bucks, we already know that the stock of this company found support over there, and then it bounced back up. So this is going to be an important spot support-wise for NVIDIA. So the trade that I took today and that I just showed you guys, the profit that I made, was bursting above 385 bucks. So that could be a potential trade tomorrow, guys, because NVIDIA failed on multiple occasions today, right at 385 bucks. That implies, as you guys can see over here, NVIDIA failed at 385 bucks on 1, 2, 3, and 4 occasions. This was actually the time in which I took this day trade. No, actually it was here at 11 a.m., 11:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you guys can see, NVIDIA was able to burst above 385 bucks on good volume, and I ended up taking this successful trade. So watch out for two potential supports on NVIDIA tomorrow. 385, as I just told you, it acted as resistance on multiple occasions today. It also acted as support, so the price action is clearly showing us that this price is important for the markets. So holding 385 is bullish. That would imply that maybe the bulls are gathering momentum in order to fill the gap that I think that wasn't filled today. Yeah, it got filled, 400 bucks. This is an important number. This is a fat number, and I think that 400 bucks might be acting like a magnet in regular market conditions. So opening the trading session above 385 could be a sign that the bulls are simply gathering momentum in order to try to fill once again this gap up to 400 bucks. And in case of a drop, or in case NVIDIA opens the trading session below 385, watch out for 366, 365 bucks, because this price, the markets showed us today that this price is important. If we take a look at a major time frame, take a look at the push to the upside that we saw today, we can make the case that NVIDIA is very overextended, pretty far away from home base. When I talk about home base, I am talking about the 100-day moving average, 200-day moving average, even the 100-week moving average. But we have a very favorable momentum on NVIDIA as of now. And maybe the bulls could start to work in some sort of bullish flag pattern over here, guys. If they can start to consolidate slightly above 365 bucks. By the way, we got a bunch of crazy upgrades, in my opinion, today. And take a look. Take a look at the price targets that we have on NVIDIA as of now, guys. So 600 bucks, 500 bucks, 500 bucks. I don't know any of these hedge funds or banks or whatever they are, but we all know Barclays, 500 bucks, JP Morgan, 500 bucks. So is there more room to the upside on NVIDIA? It could be the case. Absolutely. And I think that as long as the bulls remain trading above 366, which acted as support today, maybe we are about to see NVIDIA hitting 400 bucks. By the way, and if we take a look at the market structure of NVIDIA, take a look at these guys. Remember, on top of this chart, you guys can see the demand or buyers. And at the bottom of this chart, or on the bottom of this chart, you guys can see the supply or sellers. We have a rise in demand and a fall in supply. So from a market structure standpoint, from a demand and supply standpoint, we can make the case, or we can reconfirm that the buyers are in absolute control of NVIDIA. And by the way, if you guys are thinking about buying puts over here, I would advise you to don't try to guess the peak or the top of NVIDIA. In my opinion, if the markets are starting to retrace the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500, and NVIDIA breaks this support of $366 to the downside, that could be a short signal for the stock of this company. Okay, I have CRM over here. Let me see. CRM, Salesforce. Alrighty, let me see. Beautiful uptrend, nothing to complain about. Salesforce, it went up today 0.41% closed. The trading session at $209.91. We have a semi-ascending 200-day moving average, upward sloping 100-day moving average. We have seen a process of consolidation of CRM slightly above $207, which is a previous resistance back from early May. Very good looking chart, no doubt about it. The RSI is sitting at 55 points on the 4-hour chart. So let me zoom in here. The bulls managed to close this upward sloping 5-day moving average as support into the closing bell. So I would be expecting a further process of consolidation slightly above this 5-day moving average, so slightly above $209, in which case this could be a sign that the bulls are gathering momentum in order to once again try to fill this gap up to $215, which is a gap, or which is a spot in which the bulls already felt on May 25th, and they also felt on May 19th. If we were able to take this trade from, let's say, $210-ish up to $215, this would be a 2% profit. Very good looking chart for Salesforce. Let me see what the supply and demand is looking like for CRM. There you go, Salesforce. Alrighty, let's see. Take a look. Nothing to complain about. The demand versus the supply. We have an ascending demand, which is way above the supply. The supply is starting to rise and slightly above average. When I say average, I am talking about these dotted line that you guys can see over here. So we can, in the case of CRM, we can also confirm that buyers are in absolute control, and that implies that we might be about to see this gap being filled up to $214. I have Google over here. There you go. Let's go ahead and take a look at Google. Alrighty, Alphabet. I didn't see Google today, actually. It went up 2.23%, closed the trading session at $124.35. We have an upward sloping 100-day moving average. The 200-day moving average is starting to flatten out, which is a good sign. We can make the case, in the case of Google, and this concept applies for most of the tech stocks out there, or at least this concept applies for most of the big tech stocks out there, and obviously Alphabet is one of those. Most of these stocks are very far away from home base. Again, home base in my case, or according to my opinion, is the 100-day moving average and the 200-day moving average. These moving averages tend to act like a magnet. They tend to draw price into them. So it is a bit overextended from that perspective, but if we zoom in over here, we are seeing some sort of bullish flag pattern. Yeah, this is some sort of bull flag, not an academic one, obviously. We can also see over here an upward sloping 5-day moving average. So Google seems to be consolidating slightly above this 5-day moving average, so slightly above $123 in order to look for more upside. Let me see what's the upside potential here for Google. So what could be the next gap that Google could be filling? So we have a previous support back from mid-September of 2021. Take a look at that. at around 131 bucks. So this could be the next important gap for Google. If we take a look at the RSI on the 4-hour chart, it is sitting at 55 points, very healthy from a technical standpoint. So I wouldn't be taking a trade over here with Google holding this 5-day moving average. I would rather see in Google pulling back a bit and paying a visit down to 119 bucks, which is a previous support back from May 24th. If I happen to confirm that Google finds support over there, I would be picking shares or calls or whatever. And in that case, I have two potential gaps to the upside. The first one, up to the 5-day moving average, up to 124. That would imply a 3% profit. And up to the 52-week high, up to 127 bucks. This would represent a 5.50% profit trade. Very good looking chart for Google. Let me see what the market structure is looking like over here, supply and demand. Let me see. There you go. And take a look. Yeah, I mean, in the case of Google, the demand is obviously rising. Remember, the demand is on top and the supply is on the bottom of this chart. So the demand is higher relative to the supply, but we have an ascending supply as well that is above average. So sellers are starting to step in over here. We can obviously say that buyers are in absolute control of Google, but certainly sellers are starting to show up. So I would rather buy this dip at around $120 in the case of Google. Okay, Diamond SF77. Let's go ahead and take a look at AMD. Advanced Micro Devices, one of the beneficiaries of the NVDA pump that we saw yesterday, and this is one of the stocks that I have on my watch list. AMD went up today 11.16%, and it closed the trading session at $120.35. Another very good looking chart, clear uptrend. We have an upward sloping 100-day moving average. The 200-day moving average wants to rise little by little. It looks like it is going to be, or it could start like rising more clearly in the upcoming trading sessions. AMD is arguably a bit overextended. We can see the relative strength index on the 4-hour chart sitting at 85 points. Let me take a look at the RSI on the daily chart, the 1-year chart. It is also very elevated, guys, 81 points. So we have massive gains accumulated around here. So I wouldn't chase AMD at 120 bucks. I would be waiting, or I would rather see a retracement down to a previous support, 114 bucks. Let me pull up here a 3-year chart. So take a look, guys. 114 bucks is a previous resistance for AMD back from August of 2021. Remember, previous resistance, it could be acting like or as a new support now. So I will be waiting for this pullback down to 114 bucks. If I happen to confirm support over there, this could be this could represent an opportunity to take a bounce back up trade on AMD up to the fresh new 52-week high that AMD hit today at around 120 bucks. So from 114 bucks up to 120 bucks, this would represent a 5% profit trade. And again, and as I told you guys in the case of NVIDIA, if any of you wants to short these two stocks, please do not try to guess the top. Just wait for an important area of support to be broken to the downside, and that could be a short signal. So if 114 bucks doesn't act as support, and if 114 bucks is broken to the downside on good volume, we could be maybe getting some puts of AMD over here. Another question that you might be asking, okay, Alvaro, but what about further upside? So let's say that AMD keeps going higher. Where could it be heading? So we have a gap, guys, over here up to $126. This could, I mean, for many people, I can tell that many market participants are, since this is a very this is an easily recognizable um, previous area of resistance, 127 bucks. Let's just round it up. We might see some people trying to short AMD if this gap to the upside happens to be filled. 127 bucks acted as resistance back in March of last year and also back in February of last year. So I can see some market participants trying to short the tape over here. AMD could be easily filling this gap, but I would rather see a retracement down to 114 bucks in order to either try to take a bounce back up trade, or maybe if the support is taken out by the burst on good volume, I could be giving a thought to getting some puts. Let me take a look at buyers and sellers in the case of advanced micro devices. Let me see over here. What do we have over here? Take a look, guys. This is simply the perfect demand and supply ratio. Perfect. Absolutely beautiful. We have an ascending demand that is way above the supply. The supply is decreasing and below average. So watch out for this gap up to 126, 127 bucks, because it is very likely to get filled sooner rather than later if the markets keep going higher. I have over here Amazon, absolutely. Gishi. AMZN. There you go. Amazon. So let me pull up here a 4-hour chart, which is my favorite chart in order to start my technical analysis. It went down today 1.50% and it closed the trading session at $115. The bulls weren't able to burst above 118 bucks. They failed at 118 bucks on 2 occasions recently. So we have a potential area of interest support-wise at 112 bucks. This is going to be an interesting one, guys. Why? Well, because 112 bucks or $112 already acted as resistance back in early May, and this is a previous support back from September of last year. So this is an area from which the bulls could be bouncing back up. And another potential scenario for Amazon, if and most importantly, guys, if this tech-driven rally keeps going, why not? Amazon could be taken out or could be bursting above 118 bucks and filling the next important gap up to 123 bucks, which is an area of resistance. Which is an area of resistance in which the bulls failed in late April. The bulls have made a lot of progress over here, guys. We have an upward sloping 100-day moving average. The bulls are already trading above the 200-day moving average. We have an upward sloping 5-day moving average. The bulls actually closed the trading session today above the 5-day moving average. So yes, we could be about to see Amazon either finding support around 112 bucks and then bouncing back up, or maybe bursting above 118 bucks. This is an acceptable chart. Let's just put it that way. Let me take a look at the market structure of good old amazing Amazon. Let me see. Let me take a sip of water here and take a look. Perfect demand versus supply ratio, guys. Again, the demand is on top of this chart and the supply is at the bottom. We have an ascending demand that is way above the supply, and the supply is below average and falling. So another stock that I am going to be adding to my watch list as soon as I am done streaming for you, either bursting above 118 bucks or finding support at $112. DG. Diamond, absolutely. Let's go over DG. Let me see. Dollar General. Are they posting earnings tomorrow, I think? No, they post earnings next week. Wow, I have nothing constructive to say over here. And guys, most of the consumer staple stocks, and this is one of them, are getting killed. Absolutely killed. So these markets don't want to do anything with stocks that have nothing to do with artificial intelligence. So we have seen a lot of downwards pressure on consumer staple stocks, such as McDonald's, such as Procter& Gamble, such as Dollar General. And I think that Dollar Tree posted earnings today or yesterday, and it got killed. Let me see, Dollar Tree. Let me see. What is the ticker symbol of Dollar Tree? Let me see if I can make a comparison over here. Dollar Tree, the LTR. Take a look at this disaster, guys. Jesus Christ. When it went down today 12%. So, since the sentiment, guys, of the markets in general terms are telling us that they don't want to do anything with these kind of stocks, and since we are seeing over here a major downtrend, we can see a downward sloping 200-day moving average, downward sloping 100-day moving average, downward sloping 5-day moving average. This chart is absolutely broken from a technical standpoint, so I would suggest to you to wait for buyers to show up by at least bursting above the 5-day moving average, 5 DMA. So if you happen to see Dollar General bursting above $209, then that might be a sign that we have buyers starting to show some interest in the stock of this company, in which case from $209 we have a potential gap to the upside up to $217. Be very careful. And I just told you, guys, that you shouldn't try to guess stops, and the same applies for downtrends. So in uptrends, for downtrends. In uptrends, you shouldn't try to guess stops in order to buy puts, and in downtrends, you shouldn't be trying to guess the bottom. It happened to me last week. I took a loss on PayPal. It was a falling knife. I tried to guess the bottom, and guess what? It didn't work out, because for the most part, downtrends are trash, and I had to take a 180 back loss. I think. I mean, I was also greedy on that trade. I took the trade. PayPal jumped back up. I had a 120 back loss, but then I got greedy. Like, wow, PayPal is at $64. It could be filling a gap up to $67 or $68. And the next day, since I was dealing with a major downtrend, the stock kept falling, and I had to take a loss. So it is what it is. Yeah, this is a disaster, an absolute disaster. And I think that if we take a look at the market structure of Dollar General, we're going to confirm that sellers are in control. Let me take a look at supply and demand over here. And yeah, I mean, not really. The supply is below the demand. The demand is somehow stable. So maybe this could be a sign that buyers might be about to show up near $202, previous support back from late March. This is a possibility, but I would wait for more confirmation, or for further confirmation that buyers are stepping in by seeing Dollar General bursting above $210. Palantir, that's another artificial intelligence stock, and it actually has a very good looking chart. So Palantir went up today 5%, and it closed the trading session at $12.84. So it is overextended, guys. The push to the upside that we saw once Palantir posted earnings is a bit overextended. So check this out, guys. Since early May and up to this day, Palantir has gone up 80%. A bull would say, yeah, Alvaro, but what about NVDA? NVDA has gone up 300% year to date. Yeah, that's an argument. That's acceptable. It is a bit overextended. So if I zoom in, we have an upward sloping 5 DMA. The 100-day moving average is starting to rise, which is a good sign. And the 200-day moving average is flattening out. Okay, if I can speak today, you guys know that I live stream for the guys of my patrons throughout the whole training session, guys. At this time of the day, I'm very tired. So I would like to see some process of consolidation of Palantir above this upward sloping 5-day moving average. So I would like to see Palantir consolidating above $12.20, in which case that could be a sign that the bulls might be thinking about filling this gap up to the 52-week high of Palantir at around $14, from $12.37 up to $14. Guess what, guys? This would represent an 11% profit trade. And mind you, take a look at this blue line. This is the 100-week moving average, which happens to be downward sloping. That implies that this area between $13.50 and $14 is a very, but very strong resistance or area of supply for Palantir. So let's see if the bulls can take out this level. Let me take a look at the supply and the demand of PLTR, Palantir Technologies. Let me see. Okay, buyers and sellers. And take a look. This is a very, very good looking market structure. We have an ascending demand that is way above the supply. And the supply is slightly below average. So we can confirm that from a supply and demand standpoint, the buyers are in control. So if this support of $12.20 keeps acting as such, we might be seeing Palantir visiting or paying a visit up to $14 sooner rather than later. There you go. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. Did NVDA surpass the market capitalization of Taiwan Semiconductor? I think they did, right? Do I have my? No, I don't have the. I cannot check the. I guess that NVIDIA must have surpassed, or it did surpass the market capitalization of Taiwan Semiconductor. It went up today 12% and it closed the trading session at $100.95. Again, the 100-week moving average at around $98. If you guys happen to see Taiwan Semiconductor consolidating slightly above this 100-week moving average, this could be a sign that the bulls are gathering momentum in order to go higher. So it closed today at $100. Say that we see TSM closing candles slightly above $98. Let me pull here a 3-year chart. So we have, and this is a big gap over here, guys. Take a look. So TSM found support near or at $107 on 1, 2, 3, and 4 occasions for something like, let me see, almost 1 year, guys. And this is also a previous resistance, by the way, back from November of 2020. So this area, guys, at around $107 was very important from either a support or resistance standpoint since December of 2020 until October of 2021, almost 1 year. So very important technical spot over here. It could be acting like a magnet. So if the bulls happen to be able to keep holding $98, $100 as support, then we could be about to see TSM making a push to the upside and filling this gap up to $107, which would imply a profit of almost 9%. Wow, what a critical area for TSM, near $107. Let me take a look at supply and demand of TSM. Let me see, Taiwan Semiconductor. There you go. And take a look, guys. Wow, the bulls, when it comes to tech stocks, guys, needless to say, when it comes to some semiconductor stocks, the bulls are in charge here. Take a look. Quite an ascending demand, and we have a falling supply below average. So in normal market conditions, unless we happen to see a big flush down because the core PCE came out worse than expected and because McCarthy said this or Biden said that, I can see TSM filling this gap up to $107. Yep. Okay, guys, I think that we are, hold on. We are 39 minutes in. I'm going to, before wrapping it up, I am going to go over ELF. Absolutely. I still need to film a video in Spanish, guys. So my goodness, I'm working so much. Wow, take a look. ELF just posted earnings, right? When was this? Yesterday, on the 24th. Jesus. I guess that they killed it. Or the report came out better than feared. yeah, this push to the upside is a bit overextended. ELF went up today 20%, closed the trading session at 104 bucks and 15 cents. Don't chase it here, and rather wait for a pullback down to a previous resistance at 96 bucks. 96 bucks acted as resistance back in late April. So if we happen to see a retracement down to this area, 96 bucks ish, and if we happen to confirm support from a technical standpoint, we could be seen, yeah, we could be about to see ELF finding support at 96 bucks and bouncing back up to this 52-week high at around 106 bucks. This would represent a 10% profit trade. It is very overextended, guys. Take a look at the RSI on the 4-hour chart. 79 points. It is extended, but it is in an uptrend. So this pullback might end up being bought up. We have an upward sloping 200-day moving average, upward sloping 100-day moving average. We also, the 5-day moving average is it is kind of flat as of now because the push to the upside that we saw yesterday was massive, was very violent. But tomorrow, this 5-day moving average is going to also be showing an upward trend. So nothing to complain about ELF from a technical standpoint, but please wait for a pullback and don't chase the stock of this company over here. It is at an all-time high. Let me take a look at supply and demand of ELF. Is this a beauty product company? I think so, right? ELF. Okay, and take a look. The demand and supply shows us that buyers are starting to walk away from ELF, and I don't blame them because the push to the upside that we saw today was massive. So if I had shares or if I had any position on ELF, I would be locking in the profit. Yeah, they do beauty stuff, right? Okay. So we have a descending demand. The supply is also decreasing and about to fall below average, but the supply is above the demand. So I wouldn't chase it over here, and I would wait for this pullback down to $96 approximately. Well, guys, with that being said, I am going to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for joining me today. And remember, I am live streaming for you on Thursdays. I locked in 300% today. Awesome. Awesome. Good job, guys. You're killing it. Very good. Good work. I am proud of you. Awesome. If you don't mind, guys, please hit the like button. And once I am done live streaming, guys, because this stream is exclusively for you, I am going to release this live stream openly on my YouTube channel. So if you don't mind going to the actual video that is going to be posted on my YouTube channel, and if you guys can drop a comment, hit the like button and stuff, I will be that is going to be very much appreciated. Okay. All right, guys. Take care. Tomorrow is going to be a crazy day. I won't be able to be with you because as I just told you, I am going to be flying up to New York. So be careful out there, and see you guys on Discord. Okay. Take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for coming over. Bye. 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 Take care. Take care. Bye. Bye.